Hi there. A big thank you to you for staying with us here on Prime Morning. There's time for us to get into News Flash. It's proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still phones, Papa Pie. Here this morning, you want to walk into any of our branches right now and grab yourself some television. If you want phones, you can get Samsung iPhone. You can get Nokia as well. We're giving you 40% discount on all the accessories you buy from us. Don't forget that you can also purchase accessories and, if you're looking for television, we have the biggest screens you can get. And so come there and grab some of our products. Quality is guaranteed, and we give you the very best of customer service. Those of you out there who want to take opportunity to monitor your homes and your offices when you're not around, our CCTV cameras will do that for you anywhere you are at any time. You can actually monitor and you'll be good. Trust me on that one, all right? So if you also need refrigerators, you can also come there and grab some for yourself as well. These are things that we're selling, and they're very, very, very of quality. And so please do well to make your way to Franco Trading Enterprise. Those of you out there who want to check out on our social media handles, please, you can check out, but do not pick any number on social media to call us. Call the numbers that you see on your screens, and you can also download the app as the Franco Trading app on Google Play Store. Our website is www.francotrading.com, and you can get all the info, branches, products, and everything that you need. You can get it when you go to our website. And so please do well and go there and see for yourself some of the amazing things that we have for you. Franco Trading Enterprise says still phones Papa Pafi, and it's been long. Ghanaians have accepted us. They love us because we provide them with quality, and you can be part of that family as well. Franco Trading Enterprise, still phones Papa Pafi. This morning we're here, the kindest courtesy, Franco Trading Enterprise. We've got news flash for you, and we have lots of conversation to talk about, and you can also join in by going on our WhatsApp console and drop your messages over there. We're streaming live on Facebook. You can drop your messages over there in real time as well. If you go on X, you can find us as well. On Instagram, you can also find us over there and share your thoughts with us, especially on Facebook. We're streaming live. When you go there, please like and share so your friends can also know that indeed we've got conversations going on that they can also be part of. Now we're going to get into the front page of the various newspapers, and then we'll get into our substantive issue. Now the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has again nominated 10 people for his regional ministerial appointments. Now they're supposed to go into vetting by Parliament, and then if approved, they now become the regional ministers. We've got 10 of them, 6 more to go, and so we're going to be looking at the 10 that have been nominated and here on the show. You can let us know if you know who is representing your region. You can send us a message. Let us know that indeed if this is the person that you've been looking forward to. We'll be glad to read from you on that issue as well. So do well to send us your messages. And again, we'll be looking at the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has spoken about the LGBTQ bill, and a few people maybe who've chanced on that video. I'm not happy about it. Some people also say give the President some time and let him, do what he has to do. But we'll find out what exactly the President says with regards to that and what you think about it as well. My guest in the studio, let me introduce my guest in the studio, and then we'll go on the front page of the newspapers. Gideon Tettey Tetteh is here. Gideon Tettey Tetteh, and I like the Tettey. I like the Tettey.
Yes, Kofi. Yes. Good morning. Tettey is actually
the
firstborn.
Okay, Tettey is the firstborn.
Yeah, firstborn.
Oh, we have Tettey here with us.
Yes.
I think at the
so I have
department.
Tettey and Tetteh. Tetteh is my father's name, and Tettey.
Oh, so you're a firstborn?
Yes.
Of how many?
Of 3.
Of 3.
3 boys.
All boys?
Yeah, all boys.
Man.
3
parents
strong
will
boys.
enjoy life.
3 strong boys.
Enjoy life. The only thing is that they can't send anybody to go and marry. They will be receiving.
Yeah, of course.
The women in the house. Good to see you. Good to see you, bro. Hope all is well.
All is well. All is well. Well, let me say good morning to Ghanaians, President John Mahama, and Greater Accra Regional Chairman, the Honorable Imononi Ashimo. You know that even yesterday, the regional ministers are out. Clearly, you see that indeed, under the excellent leadership of President John Mahama, this time hard work is being rewarded. And indeed, before he made those regional appointments, regional chairmen were consulted. And so it is not that he decided to make those appointments, but every single appointment in terms of even the regional minister so far was based on the recommendation of all the regional chairmen. And so we are glad that at least this time the party is being recognized, and then people get to see that hard work really pays.
Also, Marwa Mohammed will also be joining us, and Gideon Tettey Tetteh is a lawyer and also the regional director for conflict resolution for the NDC. And he's already seated with us this morning. Awal Mohammed will also be joining us this morning here on the show, National Communications Team member for the NPP. And once he joins us, I'll let you know. But you can, like I said, send your messages to us. Let us know what you think about the issue of the LGBTQ bill, what the president has said about it. And then also you can send your messages to us on the regional ministerial appointment, and we'll be glad to read them here on the show. Now, let me get to the front page of the various newspapers that we have over here, and start off with Daily Graphic. Daily Graphic says, President seeks end to Boko crisis. I think it's one thing that we would also in the coming days take a look at, about the Boko crisis and what has been in the past. It gets to a resolution point, and then out of nowhere something triggers, and then we are back into this same issue again. It's been hovering around for only God knows, and I think that the president is making efforts to ensure that he answers once and for all. I mean, he's been in Boko, meeting up with the security agencies and all of that, just in a bit of ensuring that everybody comes to the table so they'll be able to solve that issue in Boko once and for all. Let's see how it goes. But Daily Graphic is reporting on that, and it says that area's peace top a priority. And that's a big story on the front page of the Daily Graphic. This morning, Giba seeks injunction against illegal fee demands. Page 21 has got a story on that. You can read about it. And Mahama reaffirms commitment to sustainable growth. That's page 13. You can read about it as well. And President faces selection headache as piles of CVs flood his office. This issue, yeah. But regardless, he still comes up with something every week, and so we're hoping that as much as he's got so much on his table in terms of CVs, he'll be able to still look critically into it and put who deserves to be in that position, because at the end of the day, it's work for Mother Ghana, and that's all we're all looking for, development. And so whoever that is put into that position will be able to do their possible best to ensure that they work for the interest of the nation. Now, security chiefs pledge loyalty to President Mahama. So right before he actually went to Boko, he had the security agencies, heads of the security agencies go meet up with him and pledge their loyalty in serving him and his government. Now, the back page, we have GCB Bank funds UG Hospital Pediatric unit construction and operation Keep the Lights On. ECG targets 200 million Ghana cedis in exercise. That's the Daily Graphic today. Away from that, the Ghanaian Times this morning says that the 76th ANIS will provide sustainable growth opportunities for all, says VIP, and the regional district tribunals will not absorb powers of court. That's Dr. Dominic Ayeni speaking on that. It says that, during his vetting, he was asked about the creation of the regional and district tribunals, and he says that, no, it will not usurp the work of the courts. And so many things that the NDC seeks to actually roll out in terms of the court system and all of that. So yeah, that's on that issue. Now, President nominates 10 regional ministers. We'll be looking at that this morning. VRA grid code not for privatization. The Energy Minister designates says so, and that's the front page of the Ghanaian Times. The back page says Stanbic Bank provides Kalsi community with borehole, and filth engulfs Bolgatanga at the Basse JHS. Now, remember that the beginning of this year, I think we had a full report on filth in the country and how we can solve that situation. We were somewhere at Circle, and our team was at, I think, Kanishi as well. and we brought you some of the updates on that, and it's not really looking good at all. And it's something that we have to take a look at, especially with cholera around the corner and claiming lives already. So yes, it's a collective responsibility. All of us have to ensure that we're able to keep our environment clean. Now, the Daily Dispatch this morning says government to investigate the $58 million spent on the cathedral. Mahama has been quoted on that. Oral will be a permanent feature of NDC government. Okudito Ablakwa says so, and that's the front page of the Daily Dispatch. So if you're wondering what Oral will seek to achieve in the coming years, there you have it. Now, 5 main statements from each of Mahama's first 3 ministerial appointments. Forsen Ayene Jinapo has been captured by the Daily Dispatch, so you can read about it. Away from that, the Accra Times says balance your duties with demands of constituents. Collect to MPs, and Speaker Babin charges new MPs to build good image for themselves. Akufo-Addo, 2 others to answer for National Cathedral as Mahama probes the misuse of public funds. I will donate my salary to tackle education, agric and health. Memphis Central MP says so. And the big story over here, Mahama's budget will protect the vulnerable at force and assures. That's the Accra Times. The Ghanaian publisher this morning says that armed men demolish in Tateke property at Chado, and the LGBTQ bill is dead, says Mahama. And that's where the conversation is coming from right now. Don't introduce new taxes through the back door, Dr. Boakon warns government. APD 2025 to advance African economic integration, and Mahama picks 10 regional ministers. It's something that we're looking at this morning. The last one for me is the News Center, and it says economic integration to dominate 2025 Africa Prosperity Dialogues. And Awuku resigns from NLA, leaves behind an enviable record. Armed men in military uniforms join land guards to demolish properties at Chiado and don't replace e-levy, other taxes with new taxes and levies. Dr. Boakon says so. Has President Mahama made a U-turn on anti-LGBTQ law? That's a big question mark over there. And poor government face off over ECG privatization. That's also captured by the News Center. Pretty much that will be the newspapers for today here on News Flash. It's proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, phones Papa Pathy. This morning we're taking your takes on the issues that we're discussing here on the show. You can send it to our WhatsApp line. We're streaming live on Facebook, so you can also send it over there and we'll read them here on the show. And a big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, phones Papa Pathy. Now, let's go and start off with the ministerial appointment. But Awal Mohammed has joined us here on the show. Awal, good morning. How are you doing? It's been a while.
Good morning. Many more happy returns.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
How is it going?
It's going on well. We have started the opposition.
I thought you were not going to go.
I only have to congratulate my brother. They fought a good fight, and we were really whipped by the NDC, but we are regrouping to come back stronger. Inshallah.
And how's the regrouping going?
Yeah, it's going on well. There is a committee that has been set up, and the committee has started their work in earnest, and they have even given us an email address that those who are the hard-to-reach areas, even though they will be in all the constituencies across the country, they will come and speak to even the media, the stakeholders and so on. They will speak to you why we lost and so on. But they have given an email address that if you are not able to even go and meet them, you can still send your concerns to them through NPP review committee at gmail.com, so that you can do that. Then again, our Council of Elders have also said that, well, looking at how we were, we lost the elections, it is not really wise for anyone to start campaigning today. So they are saying that people should stop campaigning for executive positions, because as I speak right now, those who are executives in the party had only spent 2 years. So they are only halfway into the administration. And if you start campaigning today, it will not also be healthy for the party. So so it's part of the regrouping that we are doing. First one is that there is a committee to investigate. Don't get it wrong that because we've lost, we have really set up a committee. The NPP from 1992, after every election, will set up a committee to investigate. You remember in 1992, there was the committee that wrote the stolen verdict, which is a public document. In 2016, when we won the elections, we had the Dr. Pukwe-Duse committee that looked into how we won the elections with over 1 million votes. In 2020, when we won the elections again, we had the Osafumafu committee. So it is something
that
new.
you do every time.
But this one, we're giving it a lot of premium, looking at the monumental loss. NPP is struggling to have even 100 seats in parliament. It's really very monumental.
Yeah.
So that's the reason. So we are regrouping and we are coming back stronger, inshallah.
I wish you well, and the entire NPP. Anyway, so we're going to start off with the ministerial appointments this morning here on the show, and this was dated 14th of January on Tuesday, 2025, yesterday. President Mahama nominates first batch of regional ministers. Don't forget that the ministers, we've had about 3 of them already, so this is the regional ministers' first batch. The ministers, in terms of cabinet, who form part of governance and all that, will have the second batch coming, but this is the first batch for the regional ministers, so don't get it messed up. Now, the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has submitted the names of the underlisted to Parliament through the Speaker for prior approval to serve as regional ministers. And one, we have Northern Region, we have Ali Adolf John, and then the second one is OT Region, we have John Kojo Japon. Volta Region, we have James Gunu, and then Eastern Region, Mrs. Rita Akusia Ejei Akwate, and then Northeast, we have Ibrahim Tia. Ashanti Region, we have Dr. Frank Amwako Hene. Okay, so I understand that we're putting the pictures on your screens for you to see them, and so maybe I'll start off again. Northern Region, we have Ali Adolf John. Ali Adolf John. If we have that of Ali Adolf John, maybe we can put that over there for the people to see the regional minister designate that we're talking about. That's the nominee over there. That's Ali Adolf John. And then we'll move to OT Region. OT Region, we have John Kojo Japon. John Kojo Japon is for OT Region, as you can have him over there. Volta Region, we have James Gunu. James Gunu is Volta Region, regional minister nominee. And then we have the Eastern Region. Eastern Region, we have Mrs. Rita Akusia Ejei Awate. Mrs. Rita Akusia Ejei Awate for Eastern Region. And then Northeast, we have Ibrahim Tia. Ibrahim Tia for Northeast. Yes, that's on the screen right now. And then we have in Ashanti Region, Dr. Frank Amwakohene. Dr. Frank Amwakohene. I think it's one of those that have really gathered a lot of conversation around his nomination for reasons best known to most of the people that are commenting on him. Upper East, we have Akamugri Donatus Atanga. That's for Upper East. Upper East, that's on your screens right now as well. And then at Ahafo, we have Charity Gardner. Charity Gardner is for Ahafo. And if we can have Charity Gardner from Ahafo on the screens right now, so you can also see. So that's Charity over there. And then we'll move on to Savannah. Savannah, we have Salisu B. Awuribe. He's for Savannah Region. Salisu B. Awuribe is on your screens right now as well. And then we come to Greater Accra Region. We have Linda Okulu. Linda Okulu. She's representing the Greater Accra Region. She's the nominee for the Greater Accra Region, and she's an MP as well. So yeah, this your first batch of ministerial appointments for the NDC government, and so we're going to take a look at them here on the show. I mean, in the coming days, they'll be going for vetting. And so we'll bring you some updates on that too as well. And that's the thing, if the person is nominated, it's not an easy road yet. It means that the person has to go to Parliament for vetting, just like you've seen the 3 ministers go through. And that's when they are approved by Parliament, then you can call them your regional ministers. So we'll wait for that exercise as well to come. But in the first place, let me start off with you, yes. Gideon. Yes. Since this is coming from your camp.
Yes.
Your ministerial appointments have been described by Tots appointments. I'm sure you've heard about that from Afiyo Makin and all that. But every single week, you people make us feel that there's no need for any alarm. We're totally on course.
Well, thank you very much. Let me say good morning to our viewers. Well, we don't need comments from a micro-minority leader at all in terms of this talk comment. And so we are not perturbed about the comments he make. What matters is that President John Mahama wants to make sure that he takes his time and appoints very competent people who are ready to work. And so it is just a matter of doing a proper background check, making sure that whoever is coming is not coming to just sit down and do nothing, but to make sure that the person supports resetting Ghana. And resetting Ghana is a lot of work. And so you will notice that as and when the appointments are coming out, the people's profile are being stated so that you know the kind of person you are looking at. You know the kind of education the person has gone through, the kind of work experience and all that. And so that is how come it's taking one step at a time. But don't forget that the promise was that all ministerial appointments will be done within 14 days. And so we are still within the 14 days. I told you that for the first time, we have 2 regional chairmen, OT and North region as regional ministers. We have 5 regional secretaries, which is Ashanti region, Upper East, Volta region, Northeast and Savannah region. Of course, Ashanti region, that's the youngest. And let me say congratulations to Dr. Frank Amakun, a very good friend and brother of mine. Also, we have a regional women organizer from Ahafo region. Yes, and we also have a deputy women organizer from Eastern region, and then a member of parliament in Greater Accra region. So you see that there's a balance. And you also see that clearly reward is being given to the party right from the grassroots all the way to the top. And so, so far so good. We know the rest will come within 14 days. And obviously, you get to realize that those who will be occupying those positions will be people who have worked really hard and contributed immensely to the victory of the NDC, and they are those who are going to be awarded.
So we'll look at the issue of gender balance. I think we've got about 3 women in there.
Exactly.
So we'll take a look at that.
That's right.
But before that, let me take your comments as well on this.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think the reason we said is thought to thoughts is because he said within 14 days he will be able to give us the list of the ministers. So that's the reason the minority leader. We don't have any micro-minority in government. He's a lawyer. He understands this most. And
well, I was about to ask that
yes.
If the speaker's decision to abolish micro-minority also affects radio and television show conversation.
Yes.
That one is only in
Parliament.
That was only in Parliament. But here, I'm able to say that.
Even in 1992, when you had only 1 or 2 people dissenting, that's Hawa Yakubu and some few other people in 1992, and one other person, they were not called micro-minority. Not to talk about a minority that has about 90 members. So we don't have any micro-minority. Yes, it's an order that at least within this period, he's able to really assemble his government, looking at the promises that he has given the people of this country. Within 120 days, there are 26 set of promises that he is supposed to fulfill. And again, when you check in the manifesto alone, the number of things that he has promised within the next 4 years, they are huge. And he needs to put his acts together by putting in all the ministers together so that at least within the 14 days he gets them. I am happy that just after the nomination, there are some concessions in Parliament that let's do it quickly. And within 3 days or 4 days, the ministers, the 3 ministers have already been vetted, and they are only waiting for them to just approve them. After the approval, they go for him to swear them in so that they can start work within this month. And that's really quick. I don't remember any time in the history of this country that we have had a quick appointments like this. And because usually when you are appointed, it takes like a month for the person to prepare and so on before the person goes for vetting. But this one is very quick. Within a week after the appointment, they are done with their vetting, and they are only waiting for Parliament to approve them. Then the president will swear them in, then they will start work. So I will congratulate all those who have been appointed. I know 2 people amongst the 10 regional ministers. I know Sule Bayorobe. You know, he used to be in Accra to do communications here, the former DCE for it's one of the districts in Savannah. So the Savannah regional minister, I know him in person, and we've had discussions on set like this before. And again, Dr. Frank Amakohene, I am from Ashanti region, so definitely I know him very well. And it's really a very good appointment looking at his age. And I think he's the youngest regional minister ever in the history of this country, looking at his age. And I think it's good to start for especially a region like Ashanti region, so that he has been the regional secretary for the last 2 or 3 years in the region. And now he's the regional minister. And I think it's okay. It's good. We hope to see what he has up his sleeves to help the people of this country. He has moved through the ladder as student leader and the former NUCS president and secretary in a big region like Ashanti region with 47 constituencies. And he has been able to really keep their votes together. They had 652,000 the last elections in 2024 or 2020. 2024, they had almost the same figure. So they were able to at least keep their votes together within the region. They were not able to appreciate much, but they were able to at least keep their votes together as him as regional secretary. Looking at those who have been appointed, yes, it's true that you have a lot of party folks in there to tell you that indeed they are rewarding people. In 2017, you remember, almost all the regional ministers were given to the regional chairman, and those who wanted to be ministers became ministers. Asuma Chireme for Bono Ahafo region was the regional chairman, and he became the regional minister because we felt that we would do that. And again, we sent secretaries to constituency secretaries to health insurance. We sent youth organizers to Youth Employment Agency where I work. Samia Oku became the board chair for Youth Employment Agency, the youngest board chair in the history of this country. And he became board chair. You had Justin Kodia Frimpong, who was the Ashanti Regional youth organizer, becoming the CEO for youth employment. Alhaji Ibrahim Bashiru, the Upper East Regional Youth Organizer, becoming the deputy CEO. Our Canada youth organizer, the Lydia Tiemo, becoming one of the deputy CEOs, and so on. The regional youth organizers became regional directors of Youth Employment Agency. Constituency, it trickled down like that. So it's good that at least those who supported for you to win the elections are factored in your appointment, so that at least they can consolidate your base. So that the base, one of the ills of our government that made us lost is when at a point in time people were calling for reshuffle, and there were only some few people at the helm of affairs. Some ministers stay on for 80 years. So a lot of people who worked within the regions felt that, only some few people, so there's no incentive for the person to go. Looking at them, a lot of them who were ministers for 8 years lost as MPs in safe constituencies. Look at Sunyani West. For the first time in the history of our party, from 1996, we've won that seat, but we lost it. But there was a minister there who has gone for like 3 times and has been a minister for 8 years. You understand? You go to Brekum and you go to Doma. For the first time, we lost Doma since 1996. So, yes, if they are concentrating on the party people, it's okay. But let's look at competence. They will come to Parliament. We'll look at their competence, and they will be approved certainly because they have the numbers. So they will be approved.
That's where some people also see a bit of problem, in terms of what makes this person go through as a competent person.
Yeah, you see,
they having the majority.
Usually, it's not about the competence. You usually look at a lot of things. I remember when we even had majority in 2008, 2005, if my memory serves me right. President Kufuor appointed someone as Deputy Ashanti Regional Minister, Lawrence something, I've forgotten the name. When he appointed him as Deputy Regional Minister, he went to vetting and failed because he held allegiance with a country other than Ghana. He had dual citizenship. And again, Scipio Gabra too, in the early 90s, 1994, he was appointed as a minister and was rejected by Parliament's appointment committee. So he had to go renounce his citizenship and come back and was given appointment around 1996, 97. You understand? So this exercise, no one should think that this exercise, because they watch on TV, there are hecklings and so on, that means that the exercise is not a very relevant exercise. They look at your CV. And even these are places where you elicit some information from people. For instance, you remember when Fifi Kwete, as propaganda secretary, said a lot of things about the Kufuor government, said a lot that Kufuor has stolen all the gold in this country and so on. It was adverting that he admitted that indeed what he was saying was a political talk. So we have it on record now. There is a video to read that when he was admitting that it was political. So it helps us to consolidate our democratic gains, at least for people to understand that you cannot just say anything. Because there are a lot of people, after saying it, they say, okay, if the person is nominated as minister, he gets to Parliament, all these questions will come up. And if it comes up, at least it serves, he will have to answer, it serves as at least a reminder to some of us young people in politics to know that this person said this during the campaign. When he got to Parliament and he was quizzed, he couldn't really give any answers to them. And that's I will have to also be careful what I say during the campaign, so that if I get the opportunity to serve this country as a minister, I will not find myself wanting and so on. So I think the only problem I have with this appointment committee is Bernard Ahiafo. There are questions that are harmless questions that the nominee will be able to answer easily. Allow it so that at least we get the flow. Even you, the media, are not enjoying it. Someone will ask a question, you're waiting for the answers, then he will interrupt and say he will not allow the nominee. He should, at least these 10 people, he should make sure that at least they answer the questions. It's harmless. No one will just hang them and so on. Okay. He should allow them do that. So, Honorable Bernard Ahiafo, this is the first time I'm seeing you on TV, even though he has been an MP for some time. But at least you are first deputy speaker now. You are not doing propaganda over there.
Okay. All right. Let's get into the issue of women representation. And there's 3 of them now.
Yes. Well, KMG, one of the promises of His Excellency John Mahama was to make sure that we support the affirmative action. And so before even these appointments were done, all that was factored. And you know that for the first time in the history of this country, we have the Vice President, Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman. And so it trickles down that way. And so even the appointment, it is insisted that even the regional chairmen that are bringing, names that they suggest to occupy position, they must factor in women. And so it's not surprising, looking at the list, it's not surprising. You can see clearly that women are heavily featured in terms of their appointments. And also the fact that it is not just women, it's women all the way from the male in terms of the party structure all the way. And so it is good. It's good. And this is a good sign. And right from the beginning that His Excellency John Mahama actually, appointed or chose Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman as his running mate and all the way to the campaign twice. Once he chose her twice, the first time, the second, yes, consistency. And now she's now the vice president. It is refreshing. It has opened the doors for women. Indeed, it is clear that women can actually occupy the position or the office of the vice president. And so you will see more of the featuring of affirmative, action and all that in the appointments and the activities of this government. And so KMG, just keep your fingers crossed and expect more of that.
In terms of competence, I think it's one thing that Wal also mentioned that party people have to be given that opportunity to serve. I mean,
exactly.
We've seen it from both parties. And
exactly.
Are we looking at because this person helped, because this person did A, B, C, D, because this person has represented maybe regional secretary or whatever for a long time, he deserves to be in that position?
Well, as I told you, you will notice that once the appointment is given, they give a background of the work experience, educational background, and all that. That is to support the fact that the appointments that are being made are based on competence. And so right from the beginning, you will see. And so clearly, you don't just get up to see names of people who don't have been appointed, but you see who they are, where they have worked, what is their educational background, and all that. And so you can see clearly that this person is really fit for the job. And that's what really matters, because before you even talk about whether the person can do the job or not, you must look at the person's background, maybe work experience, you know, academic background and all that, so that at least you can now tell that, okay, well, this person can actually, is really fit for the job and he can do the job because he has experience. And so that is actually the bedrock of competence before we start talking about, you know, how you get the work done. But you see, the way and manner we are making this appointment should tell you that we really mean business. And so all the people that have been appointed are actually competent. And that is why you see the background and what they have done. We don't really focus on what they have done for the party.
Yeah.
It is about what actually, who they are, where have they worked, and so that is what Ghanaians want to see, because once the Ghanaians voted for the NDC, in as much as, you know, party people will be voted for, John Mahama, President John Mahama, is interested in competence and those who are ready to work. And so far so good. You see the appointments, so everybody is fit for the position. Everyone has gone through the mill in terms of education, work experience, and all that. And so even Dr. Frank Aboko, he's a medical doctor, is a young man. Even though he's a young man, apart from the fact that he has paid his dues in the party, he has actually, you know, he's a medical doctor, and so he knows what it means to at least he has working experience and all that. And so, you know, once you're a regional secretary, it means you are the manager of the party. Yeah. And so if you are now managing the region, it is not going to be anything new and all that. And the Honorable Linda Okulu, let me say congratulations to her too as well. She's a third term member of parliament. Yes, she has paid her dues. She's gone through the mill, and indeed, based on the recommendation of the Honorable Imononi Ashimore, it was wise that indeed, you know, the Honorable Linda Okulu will be the next Peter Crime Regime. And that is even good, because at least everyone is happy that for the first time in Greater Accra, someone from Shai Osudoku is being appointed as a minister. Yeah, that is good news.
Very well. Well, let's look at women representation. Do you think that they've done good so far?
Yes. I think it's very positive, looking at the numbers and looking at out of 10, 3. So it means 30%. You know, when we passed the affirmative action law, you know, that was passed last year by the Akufo-Addo government, and this is just a feather in our cap for passing that law. The law states clearly that we should get to 30% by 2026. And again, by 2028, it should be 35%, and we achieve gender parity by 2030. That's what the law stipulates. So what the president is doing is really in line with our laws of this country, that you will have to factor in women, and it's binding. It's so because there is a law now, so it's binding on any government. If you're making any appointment between now and 2026, at least it should be about 30% of your, or 30% of your appointees must be women. By 2028, they must be 35%, and we'll achieve that gender parity by 2030. And that's what the law stipulates. So I think it's really a step in the right direction. It will give our women the opportunity to also serve. You see, women in positions from 1992, when you check all the ministers, appointees, and so on, you will hardly find any woman who really was incarcerated or jailed because she embezzled funds or misappropriated funds, except Sednam Tamakulu, who was pronounced guilty by a competent court of jurisdiction for stealing some amounts of money that is meant for market women and some few other things. But apart from that, women are really diligent when you give them positions of trust. So I think that's one of the reasons we have to pass the law, so that at least the women will get the opportunity to be at the helm of affairs. Now, it's bingo for some few women in politics now, because at least when you check politics today, the women are few, and they will get their.
They still believe that a lot more can be done.
Yeah, a lot more can be done. That's why I'm saying that if they are given opportunity. Yesterday there was an appointment of MIIF. Yes, and that's a woman too. Yeah. And I think from that she can start from there. Maybe one day go for some positions within her constituency, because I don't think President Mahama will appoint someone who is not very much close to the party as the CEO. So definitely, maybe she may even go and contest for election somewhere and win. So I think it's a step in the right direction. I must commend former. I have been calling him former president. I must commend President Mahama for...
As in opposition. You are in opposition, and you are calling our president former.
I nearly called him former.
So he's yet to come to the realization that he's in opposition. So I understand you.
But I think those mistakes will be coming up.
Yes. I started the communication only yesterday. I called him former like 8 times. Yes. But this one, it is the first time I'm saying former, because I've been doing it for 8 years. Anytime I meet him, I know that I'm meeting an opposition person, but now he's in government and I'm in opposition. So I think it's a step in the right direction. We must commend the president for this appointment. We want to see more of this, so that at least by 2026, we have about 30%, not necessarily in ministerial appointment and so on. The law stipulates that even at workplaces, for instance, if you are appointing anyone anywhere, if you are recruiting anyone, there must be the quota of at least 30% of those people there must be women. In all state agencies and institutions, and for Joy, you are doing so well.
We have a lot of them.
You always have even two on a panel. You have a female and a male on a panel. So for you, I know that you have reached that gender parity.
A couple of weeks or so, Samson had all-female panel on his
news file. Yes. And it was refreshing looking at them. And he did it twice. Yes. Because I remember 2-3 weeks ago, there was some set, and last week too there was a set which, even though NDC repeated one panel, Joyce Bauer Muntari for the two, but we had
different people.
We had Fati, because we have a lot of the young female who were given opportunity to serve. You remember the Fatima Abubakar, Information Minister. She was with Joyce Bauer, the first program, and the second was Rabi, my own sister from Tamale, the Deputy Communications Director of the party, was also on the show. So I think it's
so it means that clearly both parties have understood, the issue of women involvement.
We understand it more, looking at even those who were...
More than the NDC does?
Yes, those who have...
Is it because you passed the law?
Not that, but when you check the Parliament of Ghana and you look at the number of women that gets to Parliament, usually it's only this time that the NDC, because they have the numbers and so on. Anytime you find any Parliament within this 1992, you see that we have more women representation than the NDC. So it's one of the reasons passing the law was easier, because the first draft went to Parliament in 2011. But unfortunately, it couldn't really see the light of the day. But with a Akufo-Addo presidency, with a female chief of staff, and some few other key appointments, they were able to push it. You remember those days, it was Abantu for Development. I don't know if they are still there.
No, I know.
They were pushing it. CDD, Abantu for Development, and then Nana Oelita, when she was doing some advocacy. So now, at least we've passed the law, and we will have to adhere to it, so that at least will not be in any trouble.
Gideon, is the NDC looking forward to pushing that, gender balance beyond, because they believe to have done much more than you have done?
This is not the first time that John Mahama has appointed women into key positions in his as-well administration. The time 4 years ago, he appointed people, even the NDC. Let me see, not even John Mahama, but it's the NDC. Even the Speaker of Parliament, Joyce Bamford, was a woman, and so we have never in our party look down on women and not give them appointments. And then as he mentioned, was a minister. You know, there are people do, Honorable Okitidua and many others. You see, the Honorable Joyce Bauer herself. And so, even though, well, you know, the newsflash he mentioned, it may have repeated, you know, Joyce Bauer, doesn't mean that, you know, we don't have the women. that one I beg to differ between Sanan and everybody's there. So the women are many. You see, just that perhaps, you know, once other women are occupied in other positions and not in other, you know, activities, that's why maybe they may end up calling Honorable George Bauer again. But it doesn't mean that we don't have the women. That's one is totally wrong. And so, yes, in as much as indeed, the affirmative action was passed by the NPP, it doesn't mean that the NDC actually did not, you know, support women or appoint women in positions. We've done that and we've always done that. And so we have always supported women. That's how come this time President John Mahama insisted and made sure that his running mate is a woman. And now he is the vice president. So you see that in as much as, you know, President Akufo-Addo may be breaking record in terms of Chief Justice, even though he's not the one that broke the record, because obviously President Kufuor actually, you know, appointed Georgina Wood and all that. We have also broken a record in terms of making sure that now, for the first time in the history of this republic, we have a vice president who is a woman. And obviously, it sends a clear signal that indeed women can get to the top. And it doesn't mean that every day it must be a man to occupy the vice president. And so it's good. We are in support of women. We believe that the time has come that women must, you know, take positions and be in influential positions that can also support the growth of this country.
And I'm thinking that maybe that's the second most highest point you can get in governance, vice president. So
vice president.
maybe
Exactly.
that cancels all of that.
Exactly, it cancels all. Yeah. So you two, when you come, when you come, get a woman to contest for president. Until then, we are leading. Yes.
Anyway, but I'm excited for Linda though, Greater Accra Regional Minister. I mean, and like I said earlier in our intro, this probably what you call the seat of government, and you would want, knowing all that happens in Accra, you would want a man who is very vociferous, who's you know, to handle this place. But
she's a strong woman.
For the belief in the woman to know that.
But she's a very strong woman.
She's a strong woman.
Indeed, I mean, and she's put herself to the test.
Professor White, she tormented him. He contested twice.
Yeah.
And lost. So she's a strong woman. So looking at his caliber, Professor White, a lecturer at the University of Ghana, a presidential staffer when he contested for first time. Second time he contested as a NSS boss and still lost to her. She's an unassuming woman, but she's able to.
Yeah, if you look at her from a distance.
Yes.
Yeah, but
so appearance can be very deceptive.
Yes.
She's calm, but she's a very strong woman. She can really manage the region.
Yes. We hope so.
She can.
Let's get some messages. Okay, so this one over here says that KMJ, it is right for the new government to let Ghanaians know that the mess created by the outgone government after taking office, unlike the NPP, who made excuses and blamed the ex-Mahama government for their failures throughout their 8 years in office. Now, President Mahama will fix the mess that they created, so they should relax. God bless Ghana. God bless President Mahama. And that's from what? Inside Asasatre Elembele. Okay, let me go to this one over here. It says that please ask Awal when Nanado is suing Al Jazeera for the Gold Mafia documentary. That's Farmer Intercrady. I don't know if Awal will answer that, but I'll find out. Good morning. Good morning, Joy Prime. For this morning, Doctor has been calm. Is it because power has evaded them? It pays to be calm. Keep it up. Moses from Tripoli. Doctor. Hey, yeah, no. Sami Bwachi in Asamankasi says the NPP is presently undergoing a strategic reset, poised to emerge stronger. Ghanaians have made their voices heard, electing Mahama and the NDC in a decisive victory. We now expect a shift from rhetoric to tangible action, specifically addressing the economic woes they highlighted. Furthermore, their promise to set cocoa prices at 6,500 must be fulfilled. The NPP's resurgence is inevitable. Long live Ghana, long live the NPP. I like the fact that you're all still positive of coming back stronger. Alasa Sessa from Zeno Central says, good morning to everyone. The former president, Nana Addo, wasn't committed to signing the LGBTQ plus bill. As for the regional ministers' nominees, I think it is the right order, and we pray they should come and work hard to bring back. They should come and work hard to bring back our country economy back to life, so that our countrymen and women have the economic freedom and development in their lives. All right, let me go to this one over here. It says, correct scores the careers in Suyani. Says, Ghanaians have decided on President Mahama. The expectations are high, but trust the President Mahama that he would deliver. The promises made to Ghanaians will not be in mirage. Anti-corruption drive, what solid team. President Mahama, you do all. We'll support you. All right, let me go to the next one over here. And it says, good morning, KMJ. I don't understand the reasons why this LGBTQ plus has become news past 3 years. But let's tell those who are pushing this abomination practice that it is... okay, it is not. It does not happen in Ghana. It's not our practice. They should stay at corners to do their evil things. But to legalize won't happen. Ghana is a Christian country, so we should act like Christ-like. My greetings goes to people of Achim Akwaboso in the eastern region, from Ajay Kwesi, watching you from Adenta, New Legon. Okay, let me go to this one over here. And it says, good morning, Mr. Host. President Mahama, during his campaign, told us he has his government waiting. What have changed? Ghanaians should not expect anything new from President Mahama's government. It is old stock. History will be kind to Nanado and Dr. Baumia government. Good morning, Basayi Komla Mafias in Jasikan Municipal sent in that. Good morning to everyone. All the incoming regional ministers must work hard to lift the image of the nation and the party. If each minister provides the jobs for 20 people, multiply that by 60 ministers, at least the youth will be delighted. Congratulations to Honorable James Gunu Abochi Philip from Keta constituency. All right, so that's your minister right there. The African proverb, the frowning of a goat doesn't prevent it from being priced at the market, means that someone's negative attitude, disapproval, or displeasure does not stop things from happening as they should or as planned. Sylvester from Kufuria. Is that an MPP? An MPP? An MPP proverb to the NDC, or the NDC proverb to the NPP, I think. Musa Abatoy now Asawasi says, President Mahama's appointment of Dr. Nana Amwakohene as Ashanti Regional Minister designate highlights his commitment to youth empowerment and the NDC's inclusiveness. This dynamic choice has energized the party's base, reaffirming the NDC as a platform for young, capable leaders to thrive and contribute to national development. Thank you, Mr. President. Congratulations to all the appointees.
I'm told Musa Atwa is part of the 15 people who wants to be the MC for Asquaremon.
Oh, you know him personally?
But in the same way I'm from Asawasi constituency.
Oh, okay.
There are 15 people looking to be
MCs there.
Yes, 15 who had applied.
This one says, no matter what you do in this world, you cannot change God's plans. Okay, no matter what you do in this world, you cannot change God's plans. I'm sure that's what you meant to say. Let me go to this one. It says, good morning, I'm Eben from Kwabenya. This is called leadership, and I believe Ghanaians will not regret voting President JDM and the NDC. I am so much impressed by the way he's handling Boku issues. May our Father in heaven keep and protect you to succeed in your term as president. Regards to Dr. Tene Albin, the mining expert, and Louisa Kwache, the finest female communicator. All right, let me go to this one over here. And it says that, special greetings to you, host and the dear panelists. My name is Norbert Yawotenu from Nungwa Krowo, the constituency of Honorable Dr. Agnes Na Momo Latte. Congratulations once again to our newly elected and inaugurated president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, for his mega victory in the just ended election. Respectfully, is it true that President Nana Akufo-Addo is the worst president Ghana has ever had in history due to unprecedented failure in all the sectors? Congrats to the President JM for the great way he has started resetting the country by reducing 30 ministries to 23, the technical way of approaching the heavy looting and corruption. May God continue to protect, guide, direct, support, and bless JM abundantly. All right, so maybe I'll do the last one over here and then we'll move on. This one says, good evening, love you. My name is Abigail. Abigail will love you back as well. So your messages are coming through. Let me see here. Good morning, KMJ. Time really tells. The one-term president has now turned the table to become the most led president under the Fourth Republic, the most loved president under the Fourth Republic. Maybe you meant to say, the last shall be the first indeed. I wish you well, President Mahama. Don't forget Ghanaians, Stephen Opoku, Saki, Michelle Camp. It looks like everybody seemed to be in love with what the president is doing. But then again, they also still have to remind the president that you made a promise to us and you must keep your promise.
Of course, and so far so good. We are keeping our promise. And so, well, you know, it says that whatever you want to see, you must start seeing from the beginning. So clearly what we have started is a good sign that we are not going to disappoint Ghanaians at all. That is why we were voted, you know, Ghanaians voted for us massively and whipped, let me use the word of my brother, they whipped the NPP to opposition. And so we will not disappoint Ghanaians at all. By God's grace, we will only pray. We only ask Ghanaians to pray for us, so that it's God to give us life and then wisdom, so that at least we get to fulfill our promises to Ghanaians as we campaign to them.
Very well. Now we're going to go to our next topic, but don't forget that you can also send your messages to us. Let us know what you think about the ministers, the regional ministers that have been nominated. They'll be going for the vetting and then approval after, you know, the vetting is done. And so let us know what you think. If it's your region, let us know if indeed that person best represents your region, and we'll have that conversation here on the show. A big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise, still phones, Papa Pafi, kindest courtesy, Franco Trading Enterprise and Newsflash is here on this very show. So please do well and visit us. Call us. The numbers on your screens. We've got 40% discount that we're giving to people who buy accessories from us as well. So go to our website, www.francotrading.com, and you can also check out Google Play Store. Our app is over there. You can download the app. You get all the branches, the numbers, the inquiries, the products, everything that you want. Once you download the app, you're good to go. All right. So yes, whether it's phone, it's refrigerators, it's CCTV cameras, or you are looking for you know, televisions, big ones, we've got them. Come through and grab one for yourself. Now we'll move on to our next topic, which will have to do with the LGBTQ+. Now, in the words of the president, he says that the current LGBTQ bill is effectively dead and should be a government-sponsored thing. So let me quote his words, you know, describing the situation, and then we'll see. Now, it says, if we were teaching our values in schools, we wouldn't need to pass a bill to enforce our family values. And that is why I think more than even the family values bill is us agreeing on a curriculum that inculcates these values into our children as they are growing up, so that we don't need to legislate it. He goes on and says, I don't know what the promoters of the bill intend to do, but I think we should have a conversation on it again, so that all of us, if we decide to move on the way forward, we move forward with consensus. These were the words of the president. Now, the last quote that he had, he said, but as far as I know, the bill did not get the president, and so the convention is that all bills that are not ascended to before the expiration of the life of parliament expire, and so that bill effectively is dead. It has expired. I'll start off with you, Awal. This was one of the promises that throughout the campaign we had. The president who has been asked several times, what would you do with the LGBTQ bill and all of that? Unfortunately, it has expired with Parliament. And now he says family values. He's spoken about a couple of things that some people think that give us a yes or no answer, instead of we having to talk about family values and all that in our curriculum.
Highly disappointed. And I'm sure every Ghanaian is highly disappointed. If you even take time to even activate phone lines right now, every Ghanaian, including an NDC person, will be disappointed. Yesterday, had never thought that former President Mahama, at that time, President Mahama now, will be able to sign it. Read my lips. Mahama will not, he will not sign this bill. The bill is dead, as he said. And it will be dead
on condition.
And it will be dead.
He stated why
it's
dead.
And it will be dead in the next 4 years. Trust me.
Why do you think so? Because this is something that
listening to him yesterday, he said 2 things, or 3 things. One is that the bill is dead because that parliament is dead.
Yep.
There are some lawyers who are saying that no, there's no bill that is tied to any session of parliament. It is a Ghanaian parliament that has passed a bill. If it is at its embryonic stage, for instance, first reading, you say, okay, so let's restart it. But this one, it has gone through first reading, second reading, and third reading and passed.
You only needed the assent of the president.
The assent of the president. Again, there is no NDC president, there is no NPP president here in Ghana. We only have president of Ghana. The law is saying, we can test the law. Leave the law. Let's even take it, as he said, that it has expired. Now, former President Mahama, President Mahama should tell us what is wrong with that bill that he wants us to discuss again. I was shocked when he said that they needed consensus building on this. Let's look at it and build consensus. The bill first went to Parliament in 2021. I don't think there is any bill in this country that has enjoyed public discourse than this bill. Do you remember any bill like that?
No, I mean, we had a lot of conversations.
To the extent that after the first reading, for 3 months, there was public hearing live on TV. Joy Prime, you captured it. Public hearing for all groups to come and vent their spleen. You had Ghana East Commission coming to do it, right?
Human rights.
You had CDD. You have everyone coming to do a presentation. Don't forget, this bill is sponsored by 8 NDC MPs with 1 NPP MP. You understand? And you used it to cash in. You won Asin North elections because of the LGBTQ. You won there. In Asin Praso, the MP for New Edubiasi stood in the mosque after our prayer and said it clearly that President Akufo-Addo is going to implement LGBTQ, a reason he is removing Jeche from Parliament. The Muslims voted for you. Even this time around, a lot of people voted for the NDC in 2024 because even though they trust Dr. Bawumia to say that I'm a Muslim, I will sign it, but they felt that why didn't he persuade his boss to sign? The Assemblies of God Church came with a public statement that if Akufo-Addo refused to sign the bill, they will vote against MPP. Catholic bishops in this country went through a procession. You covered it. Because of LGBTQ. There was a procession. For the first time, you had clergy demonstrating. And former President Mahama is telling us now that there was no consensus in this bill. And you see, that is the reason I'm telling you that the man is not ready to sign any bill. He's not ready to restart the process. He will only restart the process. Then he will push it through some lackadaisical attitude till his 4 years expires. Because he's telling us that the bill is not necessary.
Would you blame?
He's telling us that the bill is not necessary.
Yeah, but
we should go and teach our family values. In your home, Ghanaians, all that we're talking about, if you look at the media, those who are sponsoring it, everyone is saying that our culture, our upbringing and everything in our homes teaches us that homosexuality is really a no-no. So now former President Mahama is telling us that we should go to our schools and now start teaching them that, well, male is male, no one should just engage in all these things and so on. When it is something that is embedded in our culture.
Yes, and that's what I want to ask you. Would you not blame the former president Nana for this? If he had signed this, if our president at the time had signed this, we would not be at where we are right now. Would you not blame him for that?
I would blame him. He should have signed it. Because I
even before the elections. We were all on his neck to sign it. Because I heard the advocates, I'm a publicist. And you see, they do not want any right to do anything in this country. Because even consensual sex between male and female, if you do it outside, it's against the law. So what do they want? They want to do advocacy. It's not any right that they need. They want to do advocacy for them to come and sit on TV like this because they are running into extinction. Check. Ghana AIDS Commission is saying that a lot of people who are dying as a result of AIDS and so on are people who are these LGBTQ people. So they are running into extinction. So what they want is that they want to do advocacy, talk about it on radio, on TV, and so on, for people to think about it, for young people to think about it and join them. So now the president refused to sign, and we have paid the price for that. Former President Akufo-Addo refused to sign, and we have paid that price for it. Now former President Mahama is telling us that we don't even need a bill to enforce these things. We don't need anything. All we need is to go and teach our children in schools and teach them our family values and so on. You were born in a family. It is a no-no in every family. And this is something that is embedded in our culture, our religion and everything. Do we need a consensus on this again? Do we need to call stakeholders to take it? What Ghanaians are asking former President Mahama today is that what is wrong with the bill that was pushed by his protege, Sam George? What is wrong with it? He should clearly tell us what is wrong with it.
Okay.
If we are restarting, the best thing to do right now, you have the majority. You're calling us micro. You are the supreme leader. You have absolute majority in parliament. The only thing I was expecting from him is that if it has expired, no problem. Go back to parliament, push it through first reading, second reading, and the third reading, then it's passed. Within 1 week or 2 weeks, you should be able to do all these things easily so that you sign. But you are telling us there is something wrong with it. We first raised the red flags when he went and granted an interview to BBC, where he told them that it depends on what is in the bill. So Mahama is telling us that he has not read the bill and doesn't know what is in the bill.
Okay. Well, I'll come back to you
Highly
again.
disappointed.
Let me get Gideon. Gideon, is this a U-turn by the president?
This can never be a U-turn. President Mahama is clearly indeed against the activities of the LGBTQ. And looking at what he indicated, it is not what my brother is saying. Effectively, once a bill is passed and does not receive, presidential assent before the president, or the parliament, has passed, it would effectively that bill has passed. Now, how many days are we even in power? Before, I was talking about the fact that, we must quickly go to parliament, push and do it. I mean, we have given a mandate of 4 years. And how many days have we been in power? That it is because President Mahama has said this, it means that he's not going to sign the bill. Not at all. He is rather indicating that, yes, instead of the private members, the private people, pushing for that bill, because yes, the NPP government failed to actually push it. They decided to sit down because they were actually in support of it. It took private people to do that. President Mahama is saying that, let it come from government. So to him, we will take it from government, that yes, it's government that is pushing for us to have that bill to become law, so that it will now be an all-inclusive matter, not the fact that private people are doing that because government itself had decided to not support the bill. So that is the angle that President Mahama is coming from. And he's indicating that, look, in as much as we want to pass this thing to law, we must begin to teach our children. KMG, you know clearly that as children, we were taught some things. Once you are growing up and you're in school, based on the curriculum, your teacher will teach you some things. That is what has brought us this far. And so some values is what, President Mahama is saying, that apart from the bill becoming law, we should at least begin to teach our children. Because when you look at how the LGBTQ team is going about it, they are focusing more on the children, on our children, because clearly you know that they cannot convince you and I. Based on how we grew up, automatically you say no to LGBTQ, and so they are focusing on our children because that is the next generation. And so that is why President Mahama is saying that apart from the fact that we will make this, we will pass the anti-LGBTQ bill, let us begin to teach our children the right thing. And that one means that once we are teaching the children what this, we are teaching our children our Ghanaian values, automatically they don't even need the law, or they don't need to get to know even the content of the law. Even if it's law, you know that it is part and parcel of you. And that is where he's coming from. So I beg to differ with what my brother here say, that, well, President Mahama, for 4 years, he will not sign the bill. We are rather going to sit down and make sure that there's a broader consultation. And then, my brother, but it is always, there's a broader consultation, and based on that, government will rather bring the bill to Parliament, not a private bill. And as I said, let us not forget that former President Akufo-Addo did not support the fact that he had to sign this anti-LGBTQ bill. And that's why he played delay tactics, and we are where we are today. So if, and we've seen it, President Mahama will not follow the footsteps of President Akufo-Addo. What we are going to do is to make sure that we come back, now it has expired, we'll make sure that government brings it before Parliament, there'll be a broader consultation, we'll make sure that we put everything inside to make sure that at least even our curriculum in terms of our children will also be taught the Ghanaian values, and then we'll also pass the bill to law.
So this is not really an argument.
It can never be a U-turn.
Yes or no.
It cannot be. We have been us 4 years. How many days have you been in power? In power?
Because of the kind of conversation this whole LGBT.
Oh, by LGBT,
you understand? Everybody is expecting that anytime that he's asked, would you do it? He will say yes. Or
no, but what he said, the meaning is that he will do it. The meaning of what he's based on the interview, the meaning was that he would do it. But he also added, the fact that you asked me a question doesn't mean I will not explain. He added that apart from, passing this to law, let us just teach our children. And I'll tell you for a fact that it is our children that they are going after. So because they know that is the next generation. And so if you are if we decide to just pass the anti-LGBTQ to law, and we fail to teach our children in their curriculum and all that, it will shock you that even there will be a law, and the next generation of our children will come and say that, look, this law, will throw it away. And so that is what President Mahama is trying to talk about, that, look, despite the fact that he supports, passing the anti-LGBTQ to law, he wants us to take a step further by making sure that our children are taught our Ghanaian value, and that is very, very important. I mean, if your children do not understand this, we will not be we will not live forever. Our children come and take over. But once they are taught the values, they will know that, well, these are the Ghanaian values. I'm sure our wife is here. Those days that when we were young, you are taught that every once you wake up in the morning, you must sweep your compound, do this. Even taught life skills, how to sew. Today, the children today. How many of them are taught that when you wake up in the morning, you do have to wake up in the morning, maybe 5 a.m., 4 a.m. to sweep and teach you some life skills? It is not there because of, quote unquote, Montessori's. And so this is where we are coming from. That don't let us just focus on passing this to law and then we go to bed. Let us also make sure that our children are taught the Ghanaian values. Once they are taught, clearly this law would just be a top-up, because we are passing this law not just for you and I, but for generations to come. And the generations to come must even come to appreciate. You see, once our children come to appreciate our Ghanaian values, they will not even be hiding and be engaged in such acts. Don't forget that, nobody will follow you to your bedroom and go and check. Nobody will follow you to any private place to see whatever you're doing, right? And so this is where we are coming from, that even when you are alone, right, in your room, you will know clearly that these are Ghanaian values that you have been taught right from scratch as a child. And so you stick to it. So we are beginning 4 years. We have not even spent 14 days, right, in power. And so because President Mahama has made this comment, clearly it means that he will not pass the bill. The 4 years, we begin 4 years mandate. I would expect my brother and the NPP to hasten slowly and wait to see whether in our 4 years in power, we will not pass this to law and not even ensure that our children are taught the Ghanaian values. Then that is when they can come here. But you guys, you are there everywhere. What did they do? They played delay tactics, took the matter to court and all those kind of Machiavellian tactics just to delay the matter and all that. We all know this game. Clearly, they knew that they didn't want to pass this to law. And now that it expired, why do you want to make it look like if we are going to follow the footsteps of the NPP? We will never do that. But I believe that Ghanaians should be rest assured that indeed the anti-LGBTQ bill will actually become law. It's just a matter of making sure that we have a broader consultation. We make sure that whatever must be done well, so that at least once it's passed to law, it not just become law, but we make sure that we fill in the potholes and also make sure that it is coming from government. Don't forget that if government, right, takes this sponsors it, you get to understand the power, not as compared to private people pushing it, but if government, it means that this is a government agenda. In the case of Akufo-Addo, it wasn't a government agenda; it was a private agenda. And the government didn't want to support it. So they decided to engage in some tactics. In this case, under President Mahama, he wants to make it a government agenda. So this time, government will bring it to parliament. And then it will be passed. And then it also means that you are sent it. But as he's also doing that, he will make sure that in our curricula, for our children, all that will be there to teach them the Ghanaian values. So I believe that you just hasten slowly. You have 4 years mandate. Give us 4 years before you realize.
Well, the NDC thing that you guys have been in a haste.
I'm surprised.
So
when Sam George, Nelson, Roxanne Dafiamapo, and others were pushing for the signing, that time, and former President Mahama telling us at that time that he will sign when he is elected president of Ghana. He didn't know that we needed.
When did you say that? Where did you say that? Where did you say that?
When he
in any case, if he says you will sign, he's going to sign. Definitely he's going to
so he didn't say he will sign.
But in the long run, are we not going to be as the government agenda?
Didn't tell us he will sign.
No, but the point is that in the long run, government is going to sponsor it. No, it will still come back to the fact that it's going to sign.
Which long run? I'm saying this is something.
This is 4 year mandate. We are not 14 days. We are talking about signing.
This is something that went through rigorous process.
Oh, wow.
Again, that is one. Two is that for 3 years, for 4 years, from May 2021 to December 2024, rigorous process, and you're telling us that you need to do consultations again. That's one. Two.
Why did
maybe because now he wants to.
You are telling us that the family values.
Why
did Akufo-Addo sign?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Why did Akufo-Addo bill? You think it's not something good because he mentioned that he wants it to come from government. You think
if it is coming
from
from government,
powerful than
so that is the reason. That is the reason I was asking President Mahama to tell us his challenge with the bill, because the bill is already done. So if you want it to be a government-sponsored bill, you only have to take it and dust it off and send it back to Parliament. That's all.
Is that not what he intends to do?
No, he says there should be a broader consultation. And again, he was talking about teaching family values and so on. We were taught family values in the homes. Again, even today, our children are being taught religious and moral education. It's in the curriculum. And that is what it basically teaches. Apart from that, there is Christian religious knowledge. There is Islamic religious knowledge. These are things that are already in our primary and junior high schools and senior high schools. So what family values again? Do we need a change of curriculum for President Mahama to sign this bill? That is why I'm telling you that President Mahama is not committed to signing this bill. And he will never sign this bill. And it will never get to Parliament for it to even see the light of the day.
Record this. As for words, you can say it at NPP.
You see, someone who is telling
it. You are not in the NDC, you are not in government, you are in opposition. Why didn't your president sign? No. Why didn't your president? No.
But that was ironic.
Why didn't your president sign?
I mentioned it.
Why didn't he sign?
Dr. Bawumia said that he would have signed.
No, but why didn't Akufo-Addo sign?
It was an individual decision.
You see? Fine. Thank you.
It was an individual decision.
It was something that he is even disappointed.
But we are saying that, look, we will sponsor it and sign. So it was not a government agenda under the NPP. Under the NDC, we are saying we are going to make it a government agenda. It means we are going to sponsor it.
So some
no. But look, a private member's bill has been brought. So it doesn't mean that the door is closed for you to add some, make some substantial addition.
So there are some additions.
No. It doesn't also mean that because we will have to sign. We will not have a border consultation. I mean, when you have so when you write a paper, is it wrong for you to peruse your whatever you've written? Is it wrong for you to look at it?
Is it that the president? So the president at the time didn't really have
ask him. No, he's talking about Mahama. No, but the point is that at that point in time, right, when he read it, right, the bottom line is that look, it was a private members bill. He's saying that it wasn't sponsored by government.
So now we have to do a bit of consultation.
Don't forget that when government is sponsoring it means no campaign. Look, the pocket of a private person is not the pocket of government in terms of how large the pocket is, right? The pocket of government is larger than a private person. So the way and manner a private person will draft the bill will be different from the way and manner...
It's the same thing.
No, my friend, not the same thing. No, I'm saying that, look,
still goes through the same
process. In terms of power,
in terms of making sure that there's border consultation, perhaps the private members...
If it is passed as a law, it becomes a law for Ghana. Whoever sponsors it.
Can they not have the funds to do a border consultation? As compared to government is going to involve everybody. And I'm saying that this time, government is going to sponsor.
Again?
But you see...
Involve who again?
The bottom line is that we have been given 4-year mandates.
Yeah.
You don't come here and come and tell me we don't even spend 14 days in office. We are talking about we are refusing.
It is as a result of what he told the Catholic bishops.
What matters?
It's as a result of what he told the Catholic bishops.
Premature ejaculation. What matters is that we have been given a 4-year mandate. We have not even spent 14 days in office. We are even now appointing our minister. We are not even now with our ministers. So don't be talking about it this way. The most important thing is that within the 4 years, if we do not pass this to law, and if we do not indicate that, yes, we would teach our children Ghanaian values, that's when you can come here and make noise. But look, don't forget, he may talk about, religious and moral education, all that. We all know that for curricula, every time there is what? Revised edition. KMG, when you were in school, whether or not buying books and every day is revised edition, anytime you're moving from one class to the other, even if the
curriculum was revised only last year.
Let me learn.
Just about 2 years ago.
Let me learn. No, let me learn. Even if it was revised last year or 2 years ago, does it mean that it can never be revised again?
It takes 10 years to revise
so what I'm trying to say is that, look, whether you like it or not, the point is that the fact that it takes doesn't mean that it cannot be revised. The most important thing is that, apart from passing this to law, we want to make sure that our children are taught the Ghanaian values. If you are sitting there, your child, in school, is not being taught the Ghanaian values, you will be here. You will not get to know your child is
engaging. They are taught because religious and moral education is there.
Let me learn. You had your time. Who told that? What are you talking about? Who told that? Because we moral education.
I even did cultural studies. I read life
skills. What matters is the
So Gideon,
really? We're talking about the intensification of the Ghanaian values. Look, we may be taught the Ghanaian values, but we're talking about intensifying it and letting our children know that LGBTQ, it is not a Ghanaian value.
So ban it so that you don't even talk about it.
And how many days have we been in office? We're not even 14 days.
So Gideon,
my problem with our NPP is that, look, we are giving a 4-year mandate. You can't give us pressure. With your micro minority,
because of what he said yesterday to the Catholic clergy.
When we are not settled with our ministers yet. Look, the clergy have come to meet him. The clergy are Ghanaians. He has promised the clergy that it's going to be because of the law. Government-sponsored bill.
There was a demonstration
in
by
your party,
that group.
You failed to even do that. You were sleeping. You were engaging in tactics. This time, President Mahama is saying that he's going to sponsor it. So that at least it will be a government. That means you and I and him, our taxes are going to be used, right, to make sure that it is robust. The bill is robust, right, and make sure that it fills in all the potholes.
It was all reversed.
So give it in 1 year.
Private members will do from government.
In 1 year.
In 1 year, we'll see this happen. Give and take.
I mean, I cannot be here to give you deadlines. What I want us to establish is that we have been given a 4-year mandate.
And within that 4-year period.
Yes, within that 4-year period, definitely. You say because you see, no, you say no, but I don't get around sometimes. If you have given us 4-year mandate, you were given 8 years. You were sleeping. You failed to do that. Even why didn't you sign? In the last days that President Akufo-Addo, what was he doing? All he was doing was to be withdrawing money and be spending. Why didn't he spend his time to sign it? What we must establish is that this is going to be a government-sponsored bill, which means that all of us are going to be involved. Private members bill, they may not have enough funds to even do border consultation. But this time, if government, it means that they're going to be open, everybody's going to bring a view. I'm sure the media will be there, will have your views, the Ghanaians will sit down.
We had that for 3 months in this country in Parliament. And it was live on Joy Prime.
Sponsored by who? Sponsored by who?
Parliament.
Sponsored by who?
Parliament.
The private members, was it a government?
Parliament. Parliament sponsored it.
I'm talking about government-sponsored bill. I'm talking about private member bill. If it's then why didn't they write
whoever sponsors a bill, it becomes law for the people of this country.
That's not what we're talking about.
It's immaterial.
No.
Someone sponsored it.
It is very material.
It is not.
Because it becomes a national agenda. Private agenda is not, private members is not a national agenda.
No.
Government agenda means that everybody is going to be involved.
So what I'm thinking
we are talking about the foundation. We are looking at further. Look, the government means that it's going to be a national agenda. We mean the president is going to involve all his appointees to make sure that we put our heads together, involve Ghanaians to come there to make sure that indeed we make sure this is done and done well and it is robust. What I expect the NPP to do, you have 38%, so keep quiet. Don't teach us how to govern. We are in power.
It doesn't
matter. You got F.
Please clarify. It's 41.75%.
You got an F. That's even a D. Are you happy about it? No. You had a D. The bottom line that we've been given. Oh, you had a D. You had a D.
So must you lie that you had a
student who got a D?
Must you lie that
a student who got a D cannot teach a student who got a B as to how to get an A. We must teach you how to get an A, not you teaching us how to get an A, because we got a B. The bottom line is that we're giving 4 years mandate. It's not arrogance. But you don't have the local to tell us what to do. That's why Ghanaians rejected you. Ghanaians rejected you and voted for the NDC because they know what you can do. And they know that we are here to reset Ghana. You give us 4 years mandate. I believe that Ghanaians should be rest assured.
So we should expect the law within 4 years.
4 years. Not in 4 years. Within 4 years. It can be tomorrow.
Yeah.
It can be the end of it. So within 4 years, we will make sure that this becomes law. And will not just become law, but we'll make sure that our children get to appreciate our Ghanaian values. And that's what matters.
Very well. If you just join us here on the show, this is News Flash here on Prime Morning. And I've got Awal here. I've got Gideon also here on the show. And we're looking at the LGBTQ bill. Now, the president says that there have been, aspiration and all of that. And so there's supposed to be a broader consultation, which also means that we have to go through the processes again. And then maybe when we get to that point, we'll have the president assent to it. But
not necessarily
that's
going
also
through the process per se,
another conversation.
but just making sure that it becomes a government-sponsored bill. It doesn't mean you're going to go through the whole drafting. No. But this time he believes that government, it should not be a private matter, it should not be a national agenda. And that's what, and I don't see why that should be an issue. And as I keep telling you, a private member's bill, the way a manner the private member will do it will not be the way a manner government will do it. Because private member means you're using your own personal funds, quote unquote, or you are getting solicited funds from friends and family and some people to support it. It will not be the same as government that is spending, we have paid our taxes and making sure that it becomes a national agenda. In the end, what did they do? They were sleeping. And the NDC, we are making sure it becomes a national agenda.
Very well. Gentlemen, so before we go, before we go, let's take a look at some of the recurrent issues that we've had in terms of our education sector. So this is just a quick one because of the appointments, the various appointments. Now, I have said that one of the most critical sectors that the president is supposed to be taking his eyes on right now in terms of ministerial appointments is the education sector. I mean, he's done that for the energy, the finance, which we know that we have issues with finance and the energy sector. And so you would need those people to be there to start working already so that we can get some of these things sorted. But the one other place that I think that has a lot of issues is the education sector. Charles is speaking about warning parents about food and why students have to bring their food and all that. We've had also our buffer restock issues and all of that. We also have issues of delay in payment for caterers and all of that. I want us to have our take on that. So maybe I'll start off with Gideon. Are you okay?
What?
No, we're basically looking at the education sector, the feeding issues, the school feeding issues that have come up. It keeps reoccurring each and every day. And like I said from my preamble, I believe that the president, as at this moment, we should be looking for an education minister right now to be able to handle some of the issues because it's a big deal. I don't know what you make of it. Maybe I'll start with you, Gideon.
Okay, MJ. Well, let me also add that all processes in the 8th Parliament expires with the 8th Parliament. And so once, processes, everything has not become law, all processes that have been done expires. So definitely under the 9th Parliament, processes will have to be redone. And so that is also an angle from why I am indicating that the NPP was sleeping. President Akufo-Addo was sleeping. Former President Akufo-Addo was sleeping. And that's how come now every process has expired and that the 9th Parliament will have to do it again. But talking about this food matter, Kofi, KMG.
I knew it was going to come up somewhere.
The time I'm glad that headmasters, headmistresses are speaking, because I recall that under former President Akufo-Addo, these heads of schools were actually afraid. They were afraid because if you speak, you'll be suspended or sacked. Because an example is Ganas, the one in Koforidua. Clearly, once the headmistress was talking, they had to just silence her. And so we are happy that they are speaking so that we get to appreciate the real state of our education. And we have always maintained, that the way and manner, President Akufo-Addo was managing SHS was a bit problematic in terms of food and all that. Yes, so even as much as free SHS is good, and obviously it is embedded in the 1992 Constitution, and so by law, a time had come that we had to make sure that SHS was free per Chapter 6 with the Directive Principles of State Policy in the 1992 Constitution. It wasn't new. And so we believe that, yes, free SHS will be continued. It will just be revised. And as course, these are some of the challenges that we expect our heads, teachers to tell us so that we get to understand the challenges and resolve them. On the issue of appointment of definitely it will come. Once our promise, President Mahama's promise is to appoint ministers within 14 days. Definitely in the coming days, you get to know who the next educational minister is. But apart from that, I know that clearly we are taking notes of the challenges, and we will rather, I'll use this your platform to plead with our head teachers to continue speaking. It helps us because you see, when you speak, we get to know your issues, we get to know your challenges, and we know how to resolve them. Definitely, since they have been in the system for long, they can tell us how to even resolve the one way or the other. And governance is a continuum. Wisdom doesn't lie in the head of only one person. And so this is a way for us to appreciate and get to find solutions so that at least our children, brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews will not just go to school and they'll be hungry, or when they go to school, the kind of food they give them is even last quality. I know that my cousin like this, anytime we are taking her to school, we have to make sure that, we fill her bag, her chop box, her trunk, mix it with food. We give her more food than even the clothes, so that she doesn't come to tell us that she doesn't have food. And of course, we will make sure that we call their house master just to make sure that there's enough food, because we know the situation. We know clearly that food is an issue, and so it cuts across most of the schools. You see that the teachers will encourage parents through their PTA that look, they should when they are coming to school, they should bring enough. That's not supposed to be so. When we were in school, we were not having these issues. So when you go to school and you don't come with enough provisions, you know that as for your dining, you go for dining, you'll be okay. This time wasn't like that, and so we are happy, and we'll plead with the head teachers and anyone who is involved in the education sector to keep on speaking so that we get to appreciate the challenges and find solutions to them.
All right, let me take your submission on that.
Yes, so what we expect President Mahama to do is that we want him to make it better as he promised the people of this country. You remember, it was a huge campaign message, LGBTQ and free senior high school. There is first disappointment with the LGBTQ. The free senior high school he cannot afford to fail. Looking at what he promised. He said one is that he will make it better, which Ghanaians voted for him because he promised he will make it better. Two is that he said he will abolish the double track within 120 days. He said he will make sure that those who, private schools are also part of the free senior high school. He said it's a cheat for someone to be in public school like Prempeh College and be there for free, and he will be, the others will also be in Cambridge and they will also be paying. So that he said he will also do that. Again, the last one is that he will make sure that they eat better food in the schools. So we expect all these things. What we don't expect to hear is anyone paying a dime for accessing free senior high school, because they have started that advocacy with their surrogates, some advocacy groups, some civil society organizations saying that some people will pay, will have to pay, and so on. We will not take that from former President Mahama. We will not take that from President Mahama. What we want to see is that an improvement on what we have today. Not anyone paying a dime for accessing free senior high school. Okay. We want to see the kind of food they will eat. That's very important. All of us in private senior high schools will also, those in private senior high schools will also have to be
when we are eating, all of us went to senior high schools. When we go for dining, do we pay for dining for food and dining? So what are you talking about? Okay. So what are you talking about?
Okay, so I'll come back. I'll come back for your wrap.
Did you pay for it? You don't pay for it. Yes, we paid for it.
This one says, good morning, KMG. Time really tells. The one-term president has now turned the table to become the most... Okay, I think I've read that already. Let me go to this one over here. Good morning, KMG. Please tell Awal that if he wishes doom and failure for JDM is too early, please spare us. We are not like NPP. Material man from Bupe sent in that. Let me go to Alaji. It says, good morning, my brother. Please ask Awal for me. Where is the LGBTQ bill at the moment? He should also be made to know that the bill is not binding on the 9th Parliament. Supreme Court gave the way for former President Anado to do the signing before leaving office. Why didn't he do that? Former President Anado was busy signing appointment letters in his last days in office. Why didn't he sign the bill? We were told that former President Anado was still the president of Ghana until 7th of December. So why didn't the former president sign it? Okay. This one over here says, good morning, KMG panelists. I'm Big Alaska from Garu, Tempane. Please tell Awal to stop interjecting and also stop laughing when Tetteh is making a point. Your party NPP refused to sign the bill into law. Another one over here says that the Vice President, Professor Jenan Opoku-Agyeman, should also tell us stance on the issue of LGBTQ. KMJ, do you remember the comprehensive sexual education? Is that not what President Mahama and his NDC wants to bring back in our schools, like they took monies in 2013 to infuse in our books for our children to read? There's no room for conversations on this issue of LGBT. When President Anado said we should listen to everyone, they said it is not necessary. You should please sign it and let's move on. Master Planner.
He has never said you will not sign.
We're going to get there. I mean, they have 4 years to go. So let's 4 years?
You never 4 years, man. What's your problem?
He said, when I come, I will sign.
When I come, no. Have I left? No. When I come, have I left? No, have I left?
And let me say thank you to Awal Mohammed.
When I come, have you left? You see,
Gentlemen, thank you so much for the time. Awal Mohammed is National Communications Team Member for the NPP. Gideon Tettey Tetteh joined us this morning, lawyer and the Regional Director for Conflict Resolution for the NDC, here with us this morning. Gentlemen, I don't take your time here for granted. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. And thanks to you for sending your messages as well and being a part of the conversation. We appreciate you. Hopefully, we're going to be bringing some more segments that you can contribute to. So please go ahead and be part of all our segments here on the show. We say a big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise, still phones, Papa Pafie. They made it possible for us to have the conversation here on Newsflash. And you can get all their gadgets on their phones, their TV sets, their CCTV cameras, refrigerators, phone accessories. You can get all of them. Call the numbers on your screens and buy from us. We've got quality that we're selling for you. There's still more to come here on the show.